If Israel laid down all of its weapons, what would happen?
If Israel laid down all of its weapons. Okay, they are committing a genocide and wait.
How
please.
dare you say, no, I got to put, what is a genocide?
A genocide is when you are taking over a land and killing the people senselessly. Just
Was October 7th a
ethnic
genocide?
Okay.
Answer the question. When 1,300 Jews were killed in their homes, kibbutzes, and a music festival, was that a genocide?
No, because no.
By your own definition, it is.
It was a terrorist act. But it was a terrorist act, but this was all planned by the governments. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
No. You got to tell me, why was October 7th not a genocide, but what Israel is doing is a genocide?
Israel has the Iron Dome. Why? They could have easily protected the festival. They could have easily protected their people, but they let this Hamas, this little...
They let them in?
They let them in on purpose, yes.
Really?
Yes.
So you think the Israeli government allowed Hamas terrorists to come and kill 1,300 innocent civilians, take hostages, and go into kibbutzes?
They needed an excuse to do that to the Palestinians.
What is your evidence of this claim?
Why are they claim to want Hamas. They claim to want...
No, what is your evidence that Israel would butcher 1,300 of its own people? The worst killing of Jews since the Holocaust. What is your evidence of that?
Look, I don't want to sound rude or offensive towards you, but I'm explaining throughout the news why is, again, they have the Iron Dome. They have they have billions of dollars in defense. They have millions of dollars in military, and they have the power to stop. They allowed the Hamas group to go in.
Well, it's as if, you understand, she only knows about it as the one that is being sent to Israel, but don't know the ones that is being sent as aid to the Palestine. But nevertheless, you understand, let's continue watching this debate with this college students on Palestine.
I wanted to talk to you about Palestine versus Israel. And okay. I'm a Jordanian Christian, but I was born in this country. I'm a proud American. But I wanted to know how you can defend our country funding billions of dollars into a foreign government aiding genocide.
So do you mean the money that we send to the Palestinian Authority?
No, the ones that we sent to the IDF.
Okay, so you know we spend money to the Palestinian Authority as well, right? Yeah, billions.
Tough one.
Okay, how?
We give them cash.
We give them, I know, you guys claim to give them care packages and stuff like that, but why are we still defending the IDF?
No, I want to make sure we're morally consistent. So do you agree that we should cut money off to both Israel and the Palestinian Authority?
Yes.
Okay, cut off to both. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're from Jordan, and so you know the region very well. If you look at the Palestinian Authority, let's just take Lebanon, okay, versus Israel. Which country is more moral or a better place for people to live?
Wait, what? Okay, first, why is that a question? If it's a foreign land, why are we the ones dictating?
No. We have to get our moral.
Okay.
We have to get our moral symmetry right, and then we could
symmetry.
determine foreign aid. Again, in the Middle East, because for whatever reason, a country the size of New Jersey, with half the world's Jews, gets all the attention of campus activists.
Yes.
And so, yet there's civil wars in Africa, the slaughter of Druze in Syria, from the annexation of Armenia from Azerbaijan, gets no campus energy. So I just want to understand, just so we're morally clear, where is the best place for a woman such as yourself to live? In Tel Aviv, or in Beirut, Damascus, Amman, or Cairo? Where is it better for a woman to live in the Middle East?
I've been to many of these locations, and I just want to let you know that that's an unfair question, because by us funding Israel, they are bombing Lebanon.
No. We'll get there. I just want to know, based on the laws and the customs that Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, the country you're not born in, but that you have ancestry from, Egypt, all have, where is it better for women to live? In those four places or in Tel Aviv?
That is, again, no, that's very hard to say. Again, because...
Have any of those four countries ever had a female prime minister?
Why would that matter?
Because Israel has.
Yes, but
because I find it interesting that I'm not saying you're on the left, but campus activists are always about women's rights and women's empowerment. Yet the only country that has actually ever done that in the Middle East is Israel, interestingly enough. But I mean, let me just ask this. Do you think Israel is the good guy in this equation and the other countries are not so good? How would you mark the moral grade here?
I believe Israel is the bad guy. They're using religion as an excuse to take over land. It's a government. Zionism is not Judaism.
So, and then what exactly is Islam doing then?
Well, that's why you, okay, no, like, okay. Islam versus Judaism, that's what the Western media believes is happening, that Jews are fighting Muslims, which is not true. It's a government fighting over another government for land, and they're using religion as an excuse. Why are the IDF soldiers fighting Christian people during Easter? They're not allowing them to go into church.
Actually, that's not true. So let's talk about that. That's a lie. What happened on Easter in Israel?
They were not allowing the...
What was unique about this Easter?
What do you mean what was due to come up? Like, people wanted to worship through
Catholic, Protestant, and Orthodox Easter all fell on the same day.
Okay,
so therefore, there was a huge surge of Christians to the Holy Church of the Holy Sepulchre, of which, if you're in the Holy Sepulchre, they fight over every square inch of that place. So the IDF came in to actually protect the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and make sure that all these Christians don't start tearing their hair out on the holy day. Just so we're clear.
If the oh, sorry, I don't mean to
No,
interrupt
you are actually believing the Arab press in the Middle East, where no one is being denied access to holy sites. And I do have to wonder, so you're a Christian, you know the area well. Do you feel safe as a Christian, you're a Christian, right?
Yes.
Going to Bethlehem?
Yes. We are Christians.
But do you know who controls Bethlehem?
Who controls
The Arab Muslims control Bethlehem.
And when have they stopped Christians from going
all
into
the time.
churches?
Oh my goodness, it's incredibly
Everyone
dangerous.
here is arguing about this, but no. You guys are all believing things that you see all over TikTok.
No. It's
a lot of people are. Like, you say I'm believing Arab media, but a lot of people are believing Western media. Don't you think it's possible for both sides to be lied to?
The Western media is very anti-Israel, for the record. Let's do one final thought experiment, and then we could talk about money. If Israel laid down all of its weapons, what would happen?
If Israel laid down all of its weapons. Okay, they are committing a genocide, and wait.
How
please.
dare you say, no, I gotta put, what is a genocide?
A genocide is when you are taking over a land and killing the people senselessly.
Was October 7th a genocide?
Okay.
Answer the question. When 1,300 Jews were killed in their homes, kibbutzes, and a music festival, was that a genocide?
No, because no.
By your own definition, it is.
It was a terrorist act. But it was a terrorist act, but this was all planned by the governments. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
No. You got to tell me, why was October 7th not a genocide, but what Israel is doing is a genocide?
Israel has the Iron Dome. Why? They could have easily protected the festival. They could have easily protected their people, but they let this Hamas, this little...
They let them in.
They let them in on purpose, yes.
Really?
Yes.
So you think the Israeli government allowed Hamas terrorists to come and kill 1,300 innocent civilians, take hostages, and go into kibbutzes?
They needed an excuse to do that to the Palestinians.
What is your evidence of this claim?
Why are they claim to want Hamas. They claim to want
No, what is your evidence that
I know,
Israel would butcher 1,300 of its own people? The worst killing of Jews since the Holocaust. What is your evidence of that?
Look, I don't want to sound rude or offensive towards you, but I'm explaining throughout the news why is, again, they have the Iron Dome. They have they have billions of dollars in defense. They have millions of dollars in military, and they have the power to stop. They allowed the Hamas group to go in.
There is no evidence to your claim. They penetrated.
There's no evidence to your claim.
No,
either.
hold on a second. Let's talk about how much you know about this. What was special about October 7th? What was the holy day in Judaism?
Okay. I don't want to misspeak. That's the thing.
It's called Shemat Torah, which is like the third holiest day in Judaism. So like half the country takes off. Think about like Christmas and Easter combined times 2. What else? What day of the week was it when it happened?
Again.
No, it's very important. What day of the week?
May you answer, please?
What day of the week?
Again.
Saturday. What happens on Saturdays in Israel?
Worship,
it's Shabbat.
yes.
The whole country goes to rest. 95% of the country takes off. So they have a holy day and they have Shabbat. The IDF, yes, they took it easy. And so what your belief is that no, that they weren't necessarily celebrating their holy day and that they were on Shabbat, but the Israeli government allowed terrorists to come and kill their own people?
You're giving too much credit to governments. You think that the government wants to protect its people. They will sacrifice the people for the greater good. You're giving way too much power to allowing the government to do it.
No, you have to prove these claims.
Well, I know that I came here to hear your opinion on how you can defend Israel. I didn't come to argue because I know I don't have the information to tell you right now. I just got out of class. But I do want to hear your opinion, please. I wanted to hear.
It's very simple. Israel's not a perfect country. But for whatever reason, the obsession about where half the world's Jews live, which happens to be a small outpost of freedom and liberty with lots of problems, surrounded by literally 1 billion Muslims, that this is our number one focus geopolitically, that people use the word genocide, and you won't use the word genocide when Jews are killed,
No.
but you do use the word genocide when Palestinians are killed,
please.
shows the moral confusion on this topic. And would you say what's happening in Armenia right now is a genocide?
Look, you are very good at doing this, but I want to explain to you. Look, I want to explain to you my side. Okay, you still didn't answer my question in the original question. How can you defend our government sending billions of dollars to a foreign government? Like,
Yes. Okay. So
we
just to be
both
clear,
agreed both should be cut off.
so you believe all foreign aid should be cut
We
off.
should not be involved in other countries. No.
Period. Okay.
Yes.
So you believe in America only.
Yes, I want
Okay.
our country to succeed. We should be
So,
spending the billions on
got it.
Americans.
So I believe we should limit a lot of foreign aid. I don't believe in America only. Was it a good thing that America got involved in World War II?
Wait, what? Sorry.
Was it a good thing that America got involved in World War II?
I honestly just wanted to hear your opinion. Because
No,
if I say yes or
it's
no,
an important
gonna-
moral question because you say no foreign aid. Was it good that we got involved in World War II?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you're not America only. In
No.
fact, you're okay with America sent
But
sent
you see,
aid
you think
to
that
the
the Jews
Allies.
are in trouble when they're not. They're bombing the Zionists, the IDF, so are bombing hospitals. They're bombing the schools. They're not bombing
Hold on a
Hamas
second.
places.
Again, there's so much wrong here, but where does Hamas actually keep their weapons?
I'm sorry, they're being loud. I can't hear you.
I won't even get into that. So, Israel, if Hamas laid down all of its weapons,
Yes.
what would happen?
If both sides lay, or just Hamas.
Let's say just Hamas.
Hamas doesn't have they don't have the weapons that Israel does. So if they don't have Israel, no.
Guys, you're not debating,
angry. Don't be
please.
angry.
Okay,
I'm sorry. What were
it's
we
okay.
saying? I'm not trying to be
I encourage you to
disrespectful
think
towards you.
deep.
I'm
not. No, you're not. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to me. I don't care. I want you to think deeply about this.
Yes.
Because there is a moral confusion happening in the West when it comes to Israel. No one is saying they're perfect. I'm sick and tired of talking about Israel all the time. I happen to be a Christian that loves Israel and actually cares about the fact that I was able to go to Capernaum where Jesus walked on the water, see where Jesus rose from the dead, to go to Hebron. Let me finish. That I was able to go to the holy sites and to be able to walk the streets of the old city. I actually appreciate
And
that.
thank God, so have I. But I'm explaining to you the
Okay,
difference.
I'm finishing.
I'm sorry.
No, it's but when Muslims take over countries, Christians are not able to always easily navigate or visit them. That is a fact of life. And the final thing is this: is it Israel's values or is it Hamas's values that are a closer fit to the West? And it's not even close. Israel is a small outpost of civilization in a endless ocean of tyranny. You don't have to love Israel. You don't have to wear the flag. You don't even have to support sending it money. But at the very least, you must at least have the moral clarity and the integrity to say, they're not the enemy here. They're defending themselves, and they have a right to exist and a right to be able to broker this war as a war of self-defense as they choose. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Well, tough one. When it comes to Israel and Hamas conflict, of course, people have different opinions in us, and when it comes to this very war. But one thing that maybe probably I'll agree with this very lady in this very video is that maybe probably the United States should kind of cut funding for both Israel and the Palestinians in a government. By so doing, I believe that maybe probably it can be able to like help solve some of this war. It may not happen at once, but as time goes on, you bear with me that this war will come to an end, because they can't continue in that war if there is no food supply. If there is no supply for weapons and all those things, they can't still continue. So what that is there is that the United States should just at least cut off the funding. But whatever happened in the October 7, I would say that the Hamas we are so wrong by going after Israel, killing people on the day they were celebrating one of their holiest day. Of course, you kill them, slaughter people, rape people, take some of them hostages. It was a very wrong move by the Hamas. All right, Israel in the other way around, of course, they are going there to go and take their people back. And then you bear with me that there are a lot of success rate when it comes to the ceasefire agreement, exchange of the hostages and all those things. I believe that they have used this approach and it had to work. You bear with me that over 140 people have already been returned of the hostages, right? So why not use those approaches so that at least the war can just come to an end. But then if you look at it logically, based on what this very student is saying, that maybe the Zionist government saw some of those things, but they allowed it to happen so that they can use that as an excuse to attack understand, Palestine. If you look at it, you understand, critically, it kind of makes sense, because sometimes it could be like, you understand, don't you think that at least, you understand, knew about some of these things going on? If you look at it critically, it looks like, of course, maybe probably there might be some element of truth in what, you understand, she is saying. But nevertheless, you understand, some of those things, you understand, has happened. And then we as believers, as Christians, we have to believe that what the end time, you understand, is near. Just like how Jesus, you understand, tell us, you understand, in the book of Matthew chapter 5, that when the ends come, that nations will rise against nation, kingdom rise against kingdom. There will be earthquake, you understand, all over the places. And of course, we could see earthquake, we could see flood, we could see famine, you understand. Some of those things, they are signs of the last day. And then some of those things, you understand, are happening. So it's an indication for me and you to know that what Jesus is coming, and for us to turn to him and accept him into our life, so that at least when we die, we can be able to have another life. It's actually a terrible one. If we say that we want to go through, you understand, this video, you all bear with me that, you understand, we don't have anything, understand, to justify any of the countries. But then the only thing I could say is that maybe probably United States should cut the funding, both for the Palestine and then also the Israel. And if possible, Trump should speak to both parties, so that these things, you understand, can come to an end. Of course, I know that a lot of you have their own opinion and concerning this, and I want to see that at the comment section, and may God bless you as you do so. So have a wonderful day, and I see you in my next video. Goodbye.